News Radio 700 WLW.
Addictions can come in many forms. They can come through alcohol, certainly through drug abuse. You could have a sexual addiction. You can also be addicted to something you can buy in a convenience store, any convenience store in and around the greater Cincinnati area. It is called Kratom. It is, quote unquote, a natural high that a lot of people are falling addicted to. What is Kratom? Kratom is extracted from a plant in Southeast Asia. You find it in powder, in drinks, in gummies, and capsules. And if you simply go cold turkey from this, Kratom, if you go cold turkey from it, you'll start sweating, you'll get restless, you'll get nausea, you'll go into anxiety, go into sleeplessness. What is Kratom? What is the name of what you would find over the counter with this? Well, for example, something called Feel Free. Feel Free. That company is talking about selling $250 million worth of their product in the USA in 2025. Again, $250 million of their product in 2025 just in the USA. 2-serving bottle of Kratom, or in this case, the over-the-counter name Feel Free, $13. $13. And it comes in other forms too. 70H is another brand you might find. But people are becoming addicted to this, just like they become addicted to alcohol, just as they become addicted to drugs, to gambling, whatever it may be. And there's no regulation, or seemingly no regulation, on this at all. So how are they getting away with all of this? Standing by to weigh in is someone who knows about addiction. Shane Leonard is an addiction expert, heads up the Into Action Recovery Center. There are all over the country. They treat people all over the country. Shane Leonard knows this because Shane used to be an addict himself. And he's kind enough to stop by right now and talk to us about Kratom and why it is such an easily obtainable product and why that is a bad thing. So let's welcome Shane in. Shane Leonard, how are you on this glorious Saturday?
I'm doing well. Thank you for asking. And yourself?
I'm doing well as well. Of course, I'm not taking Kratom. What is Kratom? Just give us a thumbnail on Kratom. What is that substance?
Kratom is a plant-based, Kratom in its pure sense is a plant-based product from Southeast Asia, Indonesia, that region of the world. But that's not what we're dealing with here in the United States.
Well, what are we dealing with?
We're dealing with synthetic Kratom.
Okay. So this is manufactured in the United States, or is it manufactured someplace else and brought to the United States, by and large?
Both. But by and large, the majority of the Kratom that we see in the Midwest and Southeast and Southwest is produced in Missouri.
In Missouri? Okay.
Correct.
And totally legal?
Totally legal.
Okay.
Well, it's banned in several states now, and more getting on the bandwagon. But as of right now, it's perfectly legal. Okay.
So apparently you can walk into a convenience store and buy products with this particular substance, Kratom. If I walk into my closest my closest Speedway, let's just say. Speedway is a very big, popular gas station / convenience store around the United States. If I walk in there and I'm looking for something, I don't know, a quick boost or maybe something to get me through the rest of the day, how do I avoid Kratom? What does it come in? Is there a commercial name for it, or where is it found and what products?
The newest version and the most lethal version is 70H. And it can be found at almost any Speedway, at almost any Love's Truck Center, at almost any convenience store of any size, small or nationwide chains. Mm-hmm. And the Kratom of old was meant to be a substitute for an opiate pain reliever. And in its purest form, that's what it does. The synthetic is more potent now, and so it adrenalizes people, makes them feel energetic, more alert, more active, and that's the allure. Whereas before, the Kratom, like GNC used to sell Kratom. Mm-hmm. They're responsible. They don't sell it anymore. They haven't for years mm-hmm. now.
Okay, so I walk in and I see this 70H. And I'm thinking, well, that looks like something, maybe like one of those little bottles, those 5-hour energy drinks or whatever. And I'm thinking maybe this is something that can help keep me awake, or I'm probably not looking at it to relieve pain, am I? I'm probably looking at it to snap me back to attention. Would that be the...
Well, that's what it's advertised as a opiate substitute for pain relief.
Okay, so that's what I would buy it for then. It would be that's what I would eat. It would be like a 5-hour energy drink, not necessarily compounded the same way, but that's what someone would take it for. I got a long drive ahead of them or whatever it may be, and so they would take that thinking that was going to keep them awake. But in essence, what does it do to the body once it's ingested into the body, besides probably just throw too much caffeine into your body than you should have in the first place? What does it do?
Well, I'm not a chemist, and so I don't, but what I will tell you is it attaches and binds to the same receptors that opiates do. Mm. So however opiates affect you, if you've ever taken pain medication, I've taken pain medication, it does what it's intended to do, but pretty much it makes me go to sleep. Mm-hmm. With some people, and that's why people have their specific drug of choice. I'm not an opiate addict. I'm an alcoholic. So alcohol is my drug of choice. In some other people, the reaction is different. It's not just pain relief and, kind of a sedated feel. It's energizing. It really creates this euphoric effect, and that's what opiate addicts experience. And it absolutely emulates that.
Now, I also see it can cause nausea, dizziness, sweating, vomiting, weight loss, can cause confusion, psychosis, delusions, and as of 2017, it was identified as 152 ODs that resulted in death. So why is this stuff on the market? Why can I or anyone else walk in there and buy it right now?
Well, I'm sure that 152 is underreported, by the way, the 152 deaths attributed to that, because right now we have 109 people in inpatient care today. And of those 109, about 20 of those people are suffering from Kratom. Some of that's polysubstance, but some are just pure Kratom. And we were one of the first treatment centers that started to test for Kratom when we realized, hey, this stuff isn't really what it's cracked up to be. So in its natural form, the dosage was low. The stuff that you used to buy at GNC, very responsibly done, very responsibly marketed, and pretty effective and not very addictive. Now, the potency of this stuff is 5 to 6 times stronger than that. And so it does act exactly like an opiate. And so those are withdrawal symptoms that you experience from opiate withdrawal.
So you run the Into Action Recovery Centers. So you see a lot of people that come in that have some sort of substance abuse, that have OD'd perhaps or whatnot. What does a Kratom user who has obviously been a habitual user and is addicted to this stuff, what do they come in with? What symptoms do they come into your centers?
Well, they come in with the very same symptoms as opiate addicts. So say a heroin addict or a fentanyl addict. The withdrawal symptoms, it takes, once you stop using it, you only have a short window of time before you start getting really sick, nausea, cramps. You're not going to die from Kratom withdrawals, but you can certainly overdose from it. But you just feel like you're going to die. You're just restless, sick. And then on top of that, you're dealing with the craving, the mental craving. The obsession to use Kratom or opiates is extraordinarily high.
So, and again, I'm trying to piece this together with other addictions. Do you have to, somebody that starts buying this at a convenience store, whether it be a Speedway, 7-Eleven, wherever it may be, Love's, truck stops, and once they start taking it, do they have to keep taking it to avoid the symptoms that you just described? In other words, is this thing just a giant rat cycle that they're in, a rat wheel?
Well, that's what, it didn't start off that way. Like most addictive medications, what it started out to do, it does perfectly well. I'll give you an example. Xanax is a hot button topic as well. It's been prescribed by psychiatrists for years for anxiety. And when you first take a Xanax, it's like a miracle drug. It cures all your problems. Same with this. You first take it, and if your body is wired that way, some of this is chemical, and again, some of it's medical, and that's not my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
Getting people sober and clean is my wheelhouse. But I will tell you that once you take, when I had my first, most alcoholics end up on vodka because we think somehow that people can't smell it, which is absurd.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't end up on vodka. I started on vodka. The first vodka drink that I ever had, I was 24 years old, and it just made me feel like the king of the world. You know, this euphoria came over me, this wild energy, this, you know, I thought I was so charismatic and funny and the life of the party when I was actually a drunken idiot. And that's what happens. And so alcohol is way more dangerous from the withdrawal standpoint, and it takes a longer period of time. Other drugs don't take that long of a time, particularly opiates. If you use fentanyl, it's a very fast-acting drug.
Mm-hmm.
This synthetic kratom is a very fast-acting drug. So you take one, and you like the way it makes you feel. You get another one, you like the way it makes you feel. The lifespan of it is much shorter, so it doesn't take long to get very addicted to it.
Yeah. I'm just wondering, how long did it take you? How many days in a treatment center, or how many times did it take you to get sober?
You know, my sweet dad, may he rest in peace, he was married 4 times. And when he got married the 4th time, I said, Dad, you've been married 4 times? He goes, yes, son, I'm a loser, not a quitter. So I went to treatment 4 times.
That's pretty good.
And 4 times, again, education. Had I known what I know today, I wouldn't have had to go back 3 more times. I'm certain of it. It's not that complicated. The longer people are in treatment, the better the outcomes. They're 5-fold from somebody staying 30 days versus 90 days
Mm-hmm.
of the outcomes data that's published all the time that says only 10% of people get clean and sober from rehab programs. Well, yeah, no kidding, because they're 30 days, because that's what insurance typically pays for.
Right.
90 days in treatment produces, I mean, it's geometric off the chart outcomes as opposed to 30 days. 120 days, even better. A year of continuous, not necessarily inside a facility like ours, but in the community and sober living and staying accountable by your peers and, you know, staying in that group. People that come here and they stay with us for up to a year,
Mm-hmm.
but they stay sober forever.
Wow. Shane Leonard, our guest, addiction expert. He runs the Into Action Recovery Centers. All right. So would that be the game plan for someone? Because I guarantee you, Shane, there is somebody that is listening right now that has stopped today at these convenience stores or to fill up for gasoline and has picked up this 7OH or whatever name it might be marketed under. Is that the game plan that you just outlined for someone who has an addiction to Kratom? Is it 90 days? What is it that can get somebody off this stuff? And let's face it, everybody's different because there's not everybody that wants to, but it's somebody that wants to and knows they have a problem. Is it the 90 days as you just outlined?
Absolutely. That's the absolute recommendation from us, and we make it very affordable for people to do that. Other places don't necessarily do that because, like I said, insurance does not pay for inpatient treatment that long. So we've kind of reverse engineered that system so that we start at the highest levels of care as opposed to failing up from outpatient to inpatient. We start at inpatient and then work our way down over that 90-day time frame, which is in conjunction with what insurance will pay for. So we make it very affordable. We have tons of sober living. Any addiction expert, expert's a pretty big word for me, but any addiction professional that really cares and is really trying to help people will tell you the exact same thing. 90 days is a very baseline minimum for somebody who really wants to get well. IntoActionRecovery.com. IntoActionRecovery.com. You can find Shane there. His offices are all over the country.
This is terrific insight, Shane. We appreciate your time, and hopefully we can do something on another topic down the road. Thanks.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.